and gentlemen, and welcome back to week 4, the grand finals of the Tower Challenge, as we have ourselves Fnatic Rising versus XL UK. It's all to play for here. We've had a stellar week so far. So many backdoors. It started with this matchup as well, with a crazy base race, which ended in XL taking Fnatic off the tower. And Fnatic have now scrambled and fought their way back to the top. And they're looking to re-challenge and get their spot back for next week.
Yeah, and I love the rivalry between these two. Both UK orgs with sister teams in the LEC. And it just feels like it's a constant tug of war between who can be on top of the tower at the end of the week. I know that absolutely Fnatic will be looking for everything here, but so will XL. Both these teams want to remain on top. Who's going to be able to do it?
And both teams also doing a roster change as well, where we had Exile coming in yesterday for XL, putting him into the mid lane, subbing special out. Shikari has gone, and we've now got Ronaldo in for Fnatic. So it's the same matchup, but different players. Two different players, but you know, it's different.
Apparently, I've heard on the grapevine that XL, in response, are talking to Messi.
Let's have a I'm not even going to humour that. Let's have a look at our MVP coming out of the last game between Fnatic and Demise. It is going to be NG in the jungle. KDA, kill participation, not overly flashy, but this man did do a lot for his team when he was kind of on the map.
Yeah, did get shut down pretty heavily in the early game by Hidden, but managed to bounce back, and his engage was solid. I think he really was one of the big factors who just meant Vixen could never do anything on the Zeros. He was constantly being challenged for position by this Zac with so much engage. Makes it really hard if you want to be a standing mage turret when someone's constantly looking to jump on you.
So I want to have a little look at what we expect to be kind of changed up coming into this game, because we look at, you know, the bans are the key thing. We had a little talk about it before the break, but one of the things you mentioned was maybe taking away the Gnar from Sendo, because he just looks so good on it. Like, consistent big teamfight ults and just massive play from this guy so far whenever he's been picking up this champion. So maybe we'll see them take that away, but then what does that leave open? Because Sendo, it's kind of like playing one champion isn't always bad, because he hasn't really shown his hand. We don't know what else is really in that wheelhouse for him.
Did have a really solid game on Aurelia, and that's the thing, is that you're sort of tied to wanting to ban that and other things, but I feel like I know that Fnatic could play that themselves, and over the weeks, these guys have developed a sort of meta where they share a lot of champions. The Gragas Yasuo, both teams have used a devastating effect, and so it could go either way. And we've seen XL being willing to bring out the Yasuo bot lane. We've seen it be more focused around mid lane for Fnatic. I feel like it could just go anywhere, and they're going to be not so much just... A lot of teams, when they have matchups, they ban picks away.
Yeah.
I feel like with these two, it's going to be, well, we either ban it or we take it ourselves. And a lot of trading, I expect, in the early rotations.
Now, I know you don't want to look at it, but I want to look at it. Let's bring up those predictions, because I want to see exactly where I am. Oh, look at me, baby. So if Fnatic win this, I almost catch up with the guest. I'm just 1 point behind. Ollie did a pretty good job of not turbo-inting it, unlike you, who just literally... You remember there was a gift from Forge of Champions last year? I'm just going to say it right. Where it had the diving?
I'm just going to say
you just
face planted. The team's turbo into it. Diabolus,
no.
Eminem,
you turbo into it, my
What are you doing? Come on, man. I rooted for you guys.
This is the first time I voted for Diabolus, and they let me down, guys. So come on. That was the first time this whole season I voted for them, and they lose. I wasn't a believer. I'm now a believer in the Demise. Diabolus. Sorry, Diabolus.
And then the one time you believe in them,
and then they just dropped the ball for me. I don't know. You trolling me, man, or you trolling yourselves? But if Fnatic win this, me and Twitter go up, and then
dead last.
You're done. You're out, kid.
Yeah. Apparently, I've just been told by production, if I come last on the predictions at the end of the split, I will be fired.
Yeah.
From a cannon into the sun. So
it just keeps escalating.
Not looking forward to it.
Better get your helmet on, kid. Let's have a little look at our rosters for our teams coming up in our Tower Challenge. Let's start out with XL with Sendo in the top lane, Taxa in the jungle, Exile in the mid, Hyun and ADC and Kasing as their support.
Yeah, and then on the other side, we do have the roster of Fnatic Rising with Ronaldo in the top lane, NG jungle, Magi Felix mid, X-Maddie AD carry, and then Prosper support.
Ronaldo looking good as ever there, the mystery man.
Yeah,
I just wonder what he looks like. I really hope for one. Can we actually, for next week, if he does play, can we just have Ronaldo the footballer? just because he hasn't got his picture.
I would like that.
Just bring up a footballer.
And on matchup, you know, it's funny. It's I've seen everyone be making the jokes in Twitch chat, constantly saying like, "Oh, G2 should get Messi for the real rivalry and stuff like that."
All right, well, we're into picks and bans. Yuumi taken away, Sivit taken away here.
I mean, that's the big thing as well, is that we're talking about how Gnar might be a ban. Do you know what is going to be a definite ban? Begins with a H.
Hjarnan.
Yeah, you're going to ban out Hjarnan.
Well, it technically is the Heimerdinger. I expect to see Fnatic take that away. For the moment, they're taking away the Yasuo. We know that Magifelix is capable of it. We know that X-Maddie is also capable of playing it. But XL have so many players who can play this champion, and they get first pick. It's too high priority. It's too risky. Just take that away. We expect the last ban for Fnatic to be Heimerdinger, which does actually mean that some kind of some power picks could be left open. If the Aurelia isn't banned here by XL, they could just try and take that as their first pick.
Yeah, they could absolutely first pick it. They've shown they're willing to play it in the top lane. They actually ban it themselves. Nico's still available. Aatrox is still available. There's still a lot of strong picks. We've seen priority on Silas is still a big pick. We saw Taxa absolutely pop off on. Will ban away the Heimer. No surprise there. And now XL, you have your first pick. Karma has seen a lot of priority in this first rotation. Will it be something that XL want to take?
What do they want to take away? Like you said, the Karma, high priority. Maybe it's going to be the pickup. We don't know who's playing that as well. It could, like we said in the last pick and bans, it's fairly flexible. I don't want to see Sendo on it. I think Sendo has been a lot more higher performing. He's been a lot flashy. He's been a lot more fun to watch and also more consistent for the team on something that capable of setting up his team for success, on something like the Gnar that can make those plays. Something like the Gnar that has been left open as well, as Ronaldo is going to pick up this Azir. We don't know who he's going to be playing it. Last time we saw it, Ronaldo, last game, playing it in the mid lane, and they subbed Magifelix and the Karma top. We'll have to see what does get taken away here as the next pick for Fnatic.
And that's the thing, is that you don't have as much flexibility because you lack that Karma, so you can't just move that top lane. Expect to see that this Azir will be going mid, but it's what do they put top lane. We have seen them consistently play mages. They do, however, pick up the Ezreal for X-Maddie. He has played a lot of Sivir. Another safe AD carry is that Ezreal pick, which he is very confident on. But now it goes over to XL. Do they want to pick something that can sort of outscale the Ezreal? Or do they want to look for an answer to that Azir? And actually, they go for something to outscale the Ezreal. Tristana obviously gets a lot of range in the later stages. Going to be a massive threat. And both these teams, I think, the early game can go either way, but they definitely know that having a late game asset can be huge, because that's how Fnatic did manage to beat out XL last week.
Yeah.
When they picked the scaling composition.
It's also interesting because I talk about it every time she comes up, but Tristana is like the staple UK AD pick. And Kiana's like, right, well, it looks like I'm here to stay for the moment, so I'm going to show you kids how it's done. He's going to pick himself up the Tristana. Exile is going to lock in for Taxa, a Jarvan in the jungle, and looks like now Fnatic looking to see what they're going to try and maybe put into their jungle, maybe put into their support role. NG obviously been studying under the likes of Broxah recently. He's going to try his hands at the Lee Sin.
Yeah, so haven't seen him on the Lee Sin as much. We have seen quite a bit of it in the UK scene as a general, but he is mostly in the recent games stuck to more scaling junglers. Is going for the Lee Sin here, and interestingly, the Silas has been completely passed over in this situation. The nerfs did hit him pretty heavily, but now both teams potentially looking for a top laner here, potentially looking for a support. I feel like XL have the advantage in flexibility because of that Karma. Could go in all three of those lanes, but so far Fnatic going to ban out that Nautilus first. It was a lot of problems for Prospect in the last game, even with the Morgana, and XL answer with that Cassiopeia, not wanting Ronaldo to take that top potentially.
Yeah, Cass is going to be removed. Now Fnatic, they're going to ban away their last champion. They could take away that Gnar. It's still been left open. We keep putting emphasis on it, but these last 2 weeks, Sendo on Gnar has just been disgusting. So Fnatic do want to try and give themselves some kind of favor, some kind of comfortability. Take that Gnar away. Even if it is going to be the Karma top lane, it just removes the option. But for now, they're going to take away Kasing's option of taking that Rakan and giving them some kind of real key engage to follow up with the Jarvan.
Yeah, they massively limit the engage, and that's the big thing, is that Nautilus and Rakan can make it very difficult for an Azir, because once you've latched on with those ultimates, you will be CC'd, whereas the Jarvan against an Ezreal Azir, you can't really do that much. You put them in the Cataclysm, they're just going to dash straight out. That makes sense from that regard. They're limiting Kasing's playmaking potential, but now XL's final ban will be that Shen to answer him back in a regard and not want to prosper on that. And I do expect to see the support pick come out here, just because then it means that they have a counter pick for the last pick, especially since although we expect the Azir to go mid, we don't quite know how top lane will go. Gnar's still available though for Sendo if he wants to take that one.
Let's have a little look at what Fnatic are going to try and pick up. I would like to see a support, like you said here. And it looks like maybe that's what they're going to go for. The Braum gets locked in for Prosper. Kind of going back a little bit. We haven't seen him on the Braum for a little while.
It's been a long. We haven't seen much Braum at all. The only other game he's played was by Reclamation, and for him, he's had a long break from competitive, so it may be a comfort thing from when he last played. But Prosper opting to go for the Braum here would allow him to block a lot of damage coming out from that Tristana. It looks like XL going to answer the Azir with a Corki, the standard trade-off of safe blind mid lane. There's a lot of scaling on both sides. Now XL want to round out that composition. I could definitely imagine them picking up the Gnar here, Crescendo, to finalize the comp. They can just put the Karma bot lane, but we don't know. Maybe Kasing wants something with a bit more engagement in the agenda, but instead they go for that Gnar and Sendo. Unsurprisingly, puts him in a really strong pick. And actually a big thing as well is they banned away the Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia, age-old back in the day when Huni played it as the counter to Gnar. The other one would be a Yasuo, but that's not on the cards now. Fnatic, they need to pick what they want. Ronaldo or Magifelix to go on in that top lane.
What are they going to go for? 5 seconds left on that clock, and Fnatic are going to lock themselves in the Ryze.
Yeah.
So I assume that's Ryze top lane.
I would assume that's Ryze top lane. It's had a bunch of changes in the last patch, mostly quality of life and just fixing some bugs, but also some numbers changes. It means you can go toe-to-toe with a range matchup off the Gnar. Normally, I'd expect a Kennen if it was Shikari playing with Ronaldo. I guess they want to try something different, and I want to see how this Ryze plays out into the Gnar. Obviously, the Gnar Jarvan is a massive combo in terms of team fighting potential, but the Ryze will scale extremely well. And I think it's important because you look at XL's composition, and the Corki Tristana would outscale the fact that Fnatic Rising Azir scales brilliantly, but the Ezreal not so well. But the Ryze may well make up for that.
I do want to have a little talk about how you touched on it briefly before we got into picks and bans, but last time XL played versus Fnatic in the Tower Challenge last week, not ignoring the rematch, XL lost because they just didn't have scaling. They forced engages because they realized Fnatic were just going to outscale them. This time they've played into that. This time they've looked to put themselves up some champions who are capable of scaling.
What I like is that the carries are capable of scaling, and then they have Gnar Jarvan, which is a great team fighting combination. You can obviously just use the Cataclysm and then slam them into it. And then the Karma as well is just a massive facilitator support. So I really like how the comp sort of melds together. The only issue I sort of have is this Ryze gets really strong. He may be a threat in the side lane, and also just having 3 massive carries compared to 2 in the later stages, that could be the concerning thing for me, especially when I'm looking at Prosper on this Braum, try and mitigate the effectiveness of things like the Tristana, like the Corki, and what they can do to capitalize on the other carries.
And we've been seeing Sendo picking up the Wit's End quite consistently on the Gnar as well. So into the
This
Ryze,
is a Wit's End game, yeah.
This is definitely a Wit's End game for him. I think last time he went Cleaver, Wit's End, then like Adaptive Helm, I believe was like his first 3 items. And I expect to probably see something relatively similar to that. He's into an Azir as well, and an Ezreal. There's a lot of kind of AP damage coming out from the Fnatic roster, so it makes sense for him just to kind of prioritize the magic resist early.
And one big concern for me as well is that XMI massively prefers the AP build. He's almost exclusively gone for that one. He likes having the Gunblade. He likes having the extra burst damage and being able to pop people. I don't think you can go that build in this composition. Especially if it gets later, you're going to need a Blade of the Ruined King to cut through the tanks. You need to be the AD threat in your team. So I feel like, yes, he got the Ezreal, which he's comfortable on, but he's going to be forced onto a build path that isn't as ideal for his playstyle, where he likes to find those bursty picks, especially like he did against Shogun in his game against M&M.
Yeah, we'll have to see how XMAD is going to perform now. It is a comfort pick for him. He looks. Yeah. I mean, I remember the Reddit post you put up about XMAD.
When he popped off.
Yeah, when he popped off.
He stole the Baron with his ult while securing the Elder.
Dragon. Yeah.
But I've seen loads from him. I remember when APS was just becoming a thing. He had a clip where he literally one-shot the enemy Jinx with just a WE. He really likes that one-shot sort of bursty build that he can use, but I don't think this is a game you can do it because at some point, there'll just be too much magic resist on the other side. It's very easy for Tristana and the Corki to pick up Hex Drinkers and Moors if you all commit to that. So, yeah, I think it has to be an AD build game, and he's going to be more about putting out the safe, sustained damage from the backline. And in terms of champion picks, especially if you get later on, Ezreal isn't the best to be doing that. He's not awful. He has a lot of safety, and I appreciate that having the dash to get out of the Cataclysm is a massive asset. But there are other AD carries that are capable of doing it better. Like, you know, someone like a Jinx will have more DPS just to cut through those frontliners, but you sacrifice the safety. And if the Civ had been left open, that would have been a great pick in this situation. Yeah,
we're going to have to see how this plays out as Fnatic and XL take to the Rift for the Tower Challenge for Week 4.
Looks like XL might be playing some mind games here. I think it's going to be XL mid lane on this Tristana with the Ignite. I wouldn't expect you to take double Ignite bot lane, so they've actually mixed things up to a pretty heavy degree. And it does mean that if you can get an opportunity to jump on top of Magifelix, you may be able to all-in him. The Rocket Jump actually got the base damages buffed a few patches ago, and the all-in potential onto Magifelix could be pretty threatening.
There's a lot of water bottles around this room, man. How much water have you been drinking? And it's the hottest day of the year. Hottest day,
you know,
maybe on record.
If you're watching it,
stay hydrated, kids.
Stay hydrated. Maybe go get yourself a bottle of water, or more importantly, to save the planet, get yourself a glass of water.
Yes, a glass.
Get yourself a glass of water. Have a drink. Make sure you're hydrated.
Or one of those
yourself in for a
reusable
big
bottle
game.
things. You know, like a gym one.
Yeah.
One of those as well.
That's what I want to go for.
I'm glad we did a public safety announcement.
I don't have to. It's getting dangerous out here.
It is actually really hot. We're very lucky. We're underground in a well air conditioned studio, and so it's actually nice and cool here. But I stepped out earlier, and the heat wave hit me, and I went, "Oh my lord!"
Arguably more importantly, make sure your pets are okay.
Yes.
And they're hydrated, because it's very easy to forget about them.
If you're gonna walk your dogs, make sure you check the pavement. You don't want to burn their paws.
Yep. Oh,
there's Exile on this mid lane Tristana. We haven't really touched on this. Going for the gank on Magic Felix. And Felix going to flash away. It's actually Hyun and bot lane on Corki. We were doing a public safety announcement.
I did mention that.
Okay, cool. I was not listening.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you just don't listen to me.
Well, I was thinking about, you know, the welfare of our viewers. You know, I care.
Okay. But yeah, the Tristana mid, a lot of all-in potential if you jump on top of this here, as you saw there. Taxa trades his flash, but getting off Magic Felix could mean Exile looks for an all-in later.
Yeah, relatively low mobility is NG just making his way across the back of the minion wave as Exile jumps onto Magic Felix inside the Sand Soul, just gets the charge, the Ignite down, and Magic Felix is dead! Exile with the solo kill on Tristana mid lane. That's Sendo, but no, it's Taxa, sorry.
Bit of an oopsie daisy with that graphic. But a great solo kill coming up from Exile. They burn the Summoner spell early from Magic Felix, and then he's just able to all in him with the Ignite on top of that, and now he's invested in early pressure. He's got an extra Doran's Blade, he's got those boots as well. The trading power is going to be even stronger.
God, this reminds me of, do you remember old AP Tristana?
Yeah.
This is literally mid lane as well.
That was
awful. My lord.
Fairly slow laning, but Sendo actually got a pretty significant CS lead in the top lane. And we said it, Gnar is his go-to pick. It's really strong for him. And Ronaldo, again, is a mid laner by trade. That's comfortable. Might go for a pretty heavy trade here.
Does come out for the better of that as well. Shannon able to really do too much here. And Magic Felix is just getting bullied by Exile. Exile still has this flash. He's so comfortable here. And Sendo going for a trade versus Ronaldo. Able to jump away with the wallet, but he has all of the stacks to work with. Ronaldo's trying to get the damage down, but he does find it. Ronaldo gets himself the solo kill top lane.
And it's so close. I was just giving credit to Sendo on this Gnar. He looks for the all-in, but a few little mistakes. He doesn't flash away any of the Qs, and he ends up taking enough damage to fall down. Great performance from Ronaldo. Can you say goal?
No. Oh, I can, but I'm not gonna.
You should like, if you hear the Spanish football presenters, they're like, goal, goal,
goal, goal, goal, goal, goal, goal, goal, goal,
goal, goal!
We're gonna get our sound guy really mad. You know, for me, he has the compressor like all the way up. No one else, he doesn't have to do it with anyone else. Can everybody in Twitch chat spam goal for me? We can see Twitch chat now, so.
Got some golazos.
I
don't know what it is about just
the demolish as well. He is actually going to crush through these plates.
I feel like
no. Everybody doesn't want to do it.
That's what you get for asking, Jake.
You suck, Twitch chat. You're a disappointment.
Oh. I love you, Twitch chat. I appreciate you. Jake doesn't. He's a loser.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like the Spanish language is just so hype.
It is.
You know what someone said? The greatest line is, you know Ibai, the Spanish caster?
Yeah,
someone
obviously.
said, well, yeah. Someone was like, he's my favorite caster, and I don't even know what he's saying.
I feel like it was an LEZ caster said that.
Maybe.
I could agree. He's
so hype. He just sounds so good.
But, like, you can get away with that if you spoke in any other language.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone else could actually go that high.
He could literally be just reading off his shopping list. And I'm like, oh, that's so hype. I love it.
Maybe that's what he does. You would know. Oh, Sendo actually gets himself the wallop, has the nod. Okay. Not sure about that one, Chief. Ronaldo.
He just moonwalked. He just moonwalked backwards.
Michael Jackson.
What was... Thanks, spectator.
Oh, lordy, lordy.
Oh, Engage comes in.
Looks like it's a bit of a thriller in the bot lane. NG's going to jump onto Kasing, and he is taken down. They don't really care about us as they get themselves a kill down there.
Really solid engage to punish Kasing, and that's the big thing with this Karma. If you manage to get on top of it, there's very limited amount you can do. Needs to play around that mobility, and that's some nice wave clear coming out from Ronaldo.
Yeah, still very low on HP though. Sendo really doing a good job to bully him and closing in on that Mega Gnar again. Doesn't actually have ulti and Taxa. Should spot out NG and Prosper on top of this Infernal Drake as throws down the flag just to scare them off. Prosper will take a lot of damage in Exile. Stepping forward. Magic Felix needs to be careful. Looks like the Drake is not cancelled out quite yet, but now Fnatic decide to call it off.
Yeah, you have to back away. It's doing so much damage as well. They wasted a lot of time, and NG just gets chunked down. They are able to ward it off, and this Infernal is a massive objective for either team. We talked about how both are looking to have strong late games with the compositions they've drafted. The Infernal could really throw the scaling a bit upside down with those extra stats kicking in.
Taxa maybe looking to see if he can make something happen on Magic Felix. He does have that flash again, which is fairly crucial. But Exile in this mid lane, big CS lead, being able to take these plates as well, solo plates, which is the key thing. So you can see the gold on your screen. Look at that lead.
That's so big. That's massive. The plates have just absolutely been on. I mean, that is Tristana. She is a tower demolisher. That is how the champion works, and that's what she's looking to do here. And NG Magic Felix are 1v2 and just seem unable to do anything. They're so scared. I mean, Magic Felix is no mana, sure, but still, this Tristana is just warding them off solo.
He literally is standing in the Sound Soldiers, just auto-attacking away. He's so confident in this lane.
I mean, look at the item difference. He has a BF, double Doran's boots, and he's against an Amp Tone and a dagger.
NG actually might just get caught out. Don't think he's looking on the map. Uses the Dragon Rage. The dunk comes out by Taxa. Two-shot barrage just to send him packing.
And NG just honestly caught sleeping there. Taxa and Kasing doing a great job to punish. And got to give credit, they're working well as a unit, moving around the map together, and they're now here to assist Exile. And I think they just take this tower here and now.
8 minutes on the clock, and this could just be first turret blood. That Demolish going to do oh so much work to that turret there. We'll get Prosper trying to block out a little bit for his team. That'll be the end of the turret. 8 minutes on the clock, and XL pull themselves ahead in gold over Fnatic, mounting to almost 3K. Sorry, just 2K.
It's so scary because I feel like now they're just going to send Exile around the map.
Oh, that dart's going to work. That wallop isn't going to land though. Ronaldo does get himself the flash away.
Yeah, good moves from Sendo. Gets the flash, but nothing more from that. And now Fnatic, they're looking to trade and get this Infernal Dragon while Exile reset. I feel like Exile's eyes are going to be on turret still. Exile just murders turrets so fast, and the plates are still up for another 5 minutes. I feel like you can just move them around and just continue to pick up all this standing gold.
Fnatic have had such hypey Drakes today. Game 1 was 3 Infernals, 3 Mountains and 2 Infernals. It's 2 Infernals in this game. They had 3 Infernals in the last game. They've had some seriously good Drake RNG. Now they've been able to put this Infernal up, that scaling we've been talking about. If they can get the 2, will be nice for them. We'll help that burst for Prosper. He might just be getting caught out here because Sing lands the root. And Shannon just picks himself up a free kill onto Prosper.
And Prosper just caught out. It's a fairly simple bait. They wait in the burst, get the empowered Q on him from Karma. And Prosper, this is the second game in a row he's made some really rookie errors. In the game against Demise, he was punished pretty heavily on that Morgana. And once again, Kasing and Hyanan looking to make things difficult.
Every single lane by XL is stomping Fnatic right now. They got that tower at the beginning of the week yesterday. And they're not looking to give it up right now as Hyanan, he's had a lot of solo time in this lane as well. Because remember, Kasing spent a lot of time mid setting up Exile to get that first turret blood. Now that's a solo plate as well with all the solo experience. Hyanan is just farming up a storm here. He's got the highest CS on the team in the game as well. And they're using a Realm Warp. Fnatic not willing to give this up without a fight, but now they're going to have to step away. Taxa was able to pick up the Eye of the Herald.
almost a 4,000 gold lead already, and they still have that Herald to get even more plates. It's 3 minutes till the plates fade. And this is a really concerning thing because we've seen XL get a massive lead in the early game before. And they managed not to capitalize on that. But here, they have the likes of a Tristan and a Corki as their carries. It's not as simple. Fnatic can just wait to outscale. XL's composition is going to do absolutely fine in the late game. And when at 11 minutes, you're already 4K gold up, I'm not even sure if they're going to make it to the late game.
It's going to be a rough one. Fnatic need to play smart if they want to pull this back from almost a 4K deficit.
Yeah, which is going to be a struggle.
You can see as well, XL actually grouping up in this mid lane. 3 members strong once again. They're just quite happy to leave Hyanan alone. Hyanan is a solo laner.
I mean, yeah,
he knows
Corki's,
how to play alone.
Corki's such a safe pick. And now XL, they've gotten mid priority. They've pushed up and they're going to rotate down bot. They have the Herald. This tower is low enough. One charge to be able to take it out.
That's going to be the Herald getting charged up and used here. No way to interrupt it. Taxa will place that down as XL gets jumped onto. Remember, he's still a Tristana, so he's relatively squishy, but Hyanan throws out the rocket. This is going to be the charge. Fnatic will lose their bot lane tower. Hyanan make sure he clears out the wave.
Did you see how much gold Hyanan got there? 495. That's a massive amount, and you can see the gold lead is just going up and up and up. And Fnatic, they just don't really have the answers right now. Another minute 40 before the plates fade. I have no doubt where XL are going to be headed now.
They could 15 plate right here versus Fnatic. And I just don't know what Fnatic do if they get 15 plated pre-14 minutes. At the moment, they're sending Hyanan up to this side of the map. Exile is in mid, but he might just look to collapse out for this turret, get the push, and then move on to the other side of the map. Plenty of time for XL to play around this top side if they want to go for as much gold income as possible. It is an absolute stomping in this early game by XL. Now, it's not over yet because XL is going to jump in. Magic Felix shuffles over the wall to try and get some kind of damage, but that was the Dragon Rage used by NG just to dissuade Exile from going any further.
It just feels like all Fnatic are doing is playing defensive right now. And I understand they're on the back foot, they're behind, there's no way they can really do stuff, but this game has just been them letting XL do exactly what they want. And we were talking about it, this might be the 15-play game for XL. Hyanan is chunking with this tower. He has the Triforce and the Caulfields already. Going for the Essence Reaver second for the heavy CDR build.
Team needs to come up and help if they want to do it.
There's nothing that's going to stop him. This tower's going down. That's a 15-play open.
I don't think I've ever seen a 15-play open in a competitive game.
I have. One of the first competitive games when they introduced the plates, SKT got a 15-play open.
You're right, yes.
So
it's been a while as actually Sendo gets interrupted, gets stunned up by the concussive blows. That's the ulti by Prospect. The flag, the drag, the kills have already been picked up. One apiece for both teams. NG ward hops over the wall, and Fnatic are happy with just the 1-for-1, considering the dire position they find themselves in. Ronaldo going for a bit of a fight versus Hyanan, but Hyanan with that Triforce is going to do oh so much damage to him to send him packing.
And yeah, it's a 1-for-1 trade, but you still lose your tower on the top side. 5.5k gold behind. Fnatic, I mean, anything they can take, they need to, but they are not in a good position by any means. Fnatic and Matty and NG, sorry, playing with Firebee here. Magic Felix could look for something, but with Hyanan now here, you've got to be careful.
You need to be very, very careful here. Matty grouping up the rest of his team. Now, Dragon Rage is going to be available in a second for NG. And Exile jumps in onto Magic Felix, gets the concussive blows. That's going to be the kill. Exile hops straight back out. The Cataclysm to pin them in. X-Matty has to shift away, and Prospect now running out. It's 3 kills picked up for Exile. And now they're looking to chase for Ronaldo and X-Matty. They have to make it out, but this will be an Infernal Drake for Exile.
And the fact that Exile can jump into the whole team of Fnatic, get kicked back, and still kill Magic Felix and get away just shows how confident he is, how strong he is on this champion. And with an Infernal Dragon in their pockets, it's only going to get worse for Fnatic.
Oh man, that's a third Infernal as well. Oh my lord, this is going to be such a hype matchup, Hawks.
I mean, you say hype, this just looks like a stomp. XL are murdering Fnatic. And every other game that we've seen between these two, I felt like, you know, there's aspects where one team did good, aspects where the other. Fnatic are just rolling over and dying at the moment.
The key thing to note, I think, is every time Fnatic play into XL in the last 2 weeks, it's been XL who've played well early, and Fnatic have been able to pull it back with scaling. But this time XL have the team that scales as well. They have the ability to just give it to Fnatic.
So look at this, XL just jumps in, they all collapse, and then what actually plays out badly is NG kicks XL behind the Braum shield so he can finish off Magifelix. He has a jump reset, he can just jump back in. Really solid play from them, and it was actually a bit of a backfire coming out from NG's kick. I understand the reasoning behind them both, but the lack of coordination there between him and Prosper ends up just giving XL the free out.
XL just putting his stamp down on the mid lane Tristana. I'm so hyped to see a mid lane Trist. Like, it's such a fun pickup. It's so aggressive, and now
it has been
Ronaldo might just be getting jumped onto. That's going to be the package. Ronaldo forced
damage.
the flash, and oh my lord! Hyonan just minces through Ronaldo.
He just murdered him. I mean, he didn't even take much of the package damage. He just cut through him with those auto attacks. Triforce Essence Reaver finished. He's got more items than XL, and we think about how strong he is. It's obscene. This is the early game of dreams.
Prosper's getting jumped on here. Taxa will try and chase for the kill. Prosper jumps out, and that's going to be the Cataclysm. Great Emperor's Divide followed up with the ulti by Prosper as his dying wish, but Exile now joining up with the rest of his team. NG is low. That hop is available, and Exile doing so much damage. True Shot Barrage will clip onto 4 members, but it's just tickling all of the XL members.
Yeah, Magifelix there to try and solo defend. It looks like Mighty is moving over, but you got to be careful. You're so far behind right now. 8,070 minutes, and they're looking at inhibitor towers.
This is such a fast game here by XL, and looks like Fnatic have to try and pull some kind of trigger to pull this out. But the gold deficit is almost 10k at 17 minutes. It's in such a rough spot for Fnatic Rising. And I just don't know what they can do. Xmadi sitting on the 2 items, and he's gone for the Iceborne, so he's gone just for the more kind of safer build, not this kind of bursty build. And it doesn't look like Fnatic have a competent carry at the moment.
No, they don't absolutely. They just lack the damage. These champions are wanting to scale up. And we said, sure, Fnatic have some strong champions in late game in the Ryze and the Azir, but so do XL. And XL are hitting their late game at 17 minutes. Hyonan is closing in on 10,000 gold already. He's picked up a Zeal. He's at 9,800 at 17 minutes. The farm from him is flawless, but the fact they've got so many plates to shoot, and the game comes in.
Coming in for the flag. NG is just liquefied. That's going to be the end of Xmadi. A double kill picked up for Exile. And XL are now looking to crack open mid lane.
They are murdering them. They're playing with their food. Closing on that 10,000 gold lead, taking the tower, will surely push them over the edge. And Fnatic, they honestly just look lost.
And this is a Fnatic who called out XL yet last week in the Tower Challenge, said they don't know how to win games. XL play pure confidence, pure aggression into Fnatic Rising. 11 kills to 3, a 10,000 gold lead at 18 minutes. Their late game hyper carries are in the late game hyper carry stage of this game. They are able to take down Fnatic members with ease, with no contest, and Fnatic just have no answer here.
Yeah, it really looks rough. They have to try and find a pick. That's the only way they can find a way back in this game. There are big bounties across the board on XL, but still, I'm not even sure if that's going to be enough, because at this point, I feel like Exile and Hyonan could potentially 1v2 or even 1v3.
And Sendo hasn't really had that kind of stellar performance we talked about.
He hasn't needed to.
He doesn't, exactly, that's the point. He hasn't needed to. He's just played nuisance for Ronaldo. It's not been the best, and Sendo gets himself the flash. That's the wallbang wallop, Cataclysm, and Sendo, just as I say he's performing, he steps up and gets a kill onto Ronaldo.
And they punish any time Fnatic overstep even slightly. You feel like Ronaldo's in a safe position there. He is not. You cannot walk within half a map's distance of this XL roster right now.
There's only 4 turrets remaining for Fnatic, and we've only just about started to breach the 20-minute mark. This is normally mid-game.
This opens up so many concerns, because Fnatic really haven't had that many great early games. It always feels slower against the weaker teams, and against XL, they tend to lose out and then come back later on. But XL right now are just murdering Fnatic in the early games, and they don't show any signs of stopping, but actually, Fnatic are going for a desperation play here with the Baron. There's no vision, but Kasing, he's going to walk over.
Kasing looks to try and spot it out. Crossfair just kind of playing innocence here. Kasing isn't fully aware of what's going on. has been spotted out on that ward. It's 5k HP. Kasing does have a lot of damage. They do a lot of damage, though, from the Baron. This could be dangerous. NG steps up forward. Prospect comes in for the block, and Fnatic are able to sneak away the Baron. The party pop out. That was what Fnatic. What a turnaround.
I don't think it's enough to completely turn the game around, but it's definitely the thing that Fnatic needed. They sneak a Baron. XL don't expect it, but they do secure their second Infernal.
And a Mountain is next. We keep up with the Hypey Drakes. We'll be able to keep open their mid lane inhibitor for the moment. And their top lane inhibitor as well, which doesn't have its turret, but Exile doing so much damage to those towers. Does take a lot of damage from the minions and from that tower shot. Redemption will come down to heal him up, so no true shot by Xmadi to seal the deal and kill Exile.
Big thing though, they got a lot of XP from that Baron. You've seen Magifelix actually overtake Exile in terms of levels. Close the gap a lot in that regard. It's really hard to push up to this tower without having a Baron buff. Fnatic have bought time, which is absolutely what they need.
NG was on that flank, maybe seeing if he could find like a key kick onto maybe Kiana, maybe XL, but it's hard. They've got the rocket jump, they've got the Valkyrie. There's so many ways to get these carries out with Kasing shielding. It's a really rough situation for Fnatic to find themselves in, but this Baron at least will slow down the siege, will buy them time to at least get some farm, some gold onto some of their carries.
This is reminiscent though of last week when XL got a massive lead and Fnatic brought it back. It's too early to call it now, but XL have got to be feeling a little bit nervous after thinking back to that match. If it happens again,
wasn't quite this big.
They had 10,000 gold lead, maybe not this soon.
Yes, yeah, that's
but they did have a big gold lead.
Fnatic down, but definitely not out. Signs of life, the Baron doing a lot of work for them. That true shot chunks out Hyanan a decent amount, as Xmadi does need to be a little careful. Exile just steps up, and he is going to take tower shot after tower shot. Exile comes in! Magic Felix! What an engage! Fnatic now chasing for more. 4 members of XL fall down. The Realm Warp to chase as Kasing is being run down. He has to flash over the wall. Sendo able to buy him out. Fnatic find free. What a turnaround. What an opening, and what a punish.
Overconfidence from XL. Once again, they show their struggles in the mid game. They had a massive gold lead. They give it the Baron, and then Magi Felix makes their hero play. Exile oversteps, and they are punished.
Exile's confidence was just stupid, is the only word I have for that. He took 2 tower shots, all a full combo from Xmadi, and then went, oh, maybe I shouldn't be here. Let's see this again. Look at Exile. What a misposition.
He wants a turret, he walks up. Xmadi puts a ton of damage into trying to chunk him. And then Magi Felix, he catches him with a shuffle, gets Taxa and Shannon in. And the big thing is, those are the three members with massive shutdowns, and it's all gone into the pocket of Fnatic. That gold lead, it was pretty huge before, but they've definitely managed to close it to a degree.
There's still a big gold lead for XL. They still have the pressure on the map. Fnatic have only been able to take 2 turrets this game, and they're both in that mid lane. That's going to be a true shot coming out by Xmadi just to clear out the wave and do a bit of damage to Exile. A lot of ultis are down, a lot of flashes are down. Like the key one for Magic Felix, not being able to get his kind of own, his stream of shuffle off.
When the Baron was snubbed, I was like, it's something, but it may not be enough. But when they lost that team fight, it really made me think Fnatic can come back in this game. There's still hope for them. The Baron's about to fade off, but it's a while to the next one. XL, they've really been shook right now. It was a game that was in their pocket. They absolutely should have had this one in the bag. But Fnatic are not giving up yet.
Not yet, but now, like you said, we're actually seeing the Blade the Ruin King, so it is going to be the full AD build from Xmadi. So it's less bursty, but the damage is going to be more consistent. It's going to be able to cut through the likes of Taxa and Sendo, who are being the tanky front line, are being a bit of a nuisance as Xmadi jumps up just to get a bit of trade onto Hyanan, but he takes a lot of damage in response from Hyanan.
Yeah, and as much as we're talking about Fnatic coming back, we cannot forget the fact that there's still almost a 7,000 gold lead. That Corki, that Tristana, they don't fall off. The last time we saw a matchup like this, where XL got 10k gold up and then fell behind, there was a lot less scaling.
NG comes in, the insect's gonna be there.
What's he doing?
True shot barrage. XL steps up once again, and Exile will be the one to fall. Fnatic find a punish. Exile's confidence is really biting him now.
Yeah, I mean, earlier we were like, this man is so confident. He can jump into 4 people and still kill Magi Felix. Now he's doing the same and just dying. It's not worked for a couple of attempts. You need to play with more respect.
Great insect by NG there. Cancelled out Exile's rocket jump to safety. Fantastic play. And now Magi Felix, he'll be coming up on his flash, so potential for them to go for that play. Next trade's going to be a Mountain. And remember, we've already seen Fnatic sneak away one Baron buff. They have the potential with this Azir to cut through this Baron very, very fast. XL as well also have a very fast Baron. And look at the pings on the map. It looks like Fnatic maybe setting up for a quick poke, prod, and maybe a pick if they can find it. Prosper waiting in the wings to defend his AD carry.
Just trying to buy space for that Mountain Dragon. It would mean that the Baron would be so much faster if they can pick it up, and it looks like it's going to be gone. Then I can disengage, and
next one's another Mountain. We've had so many good Drakes in the Fnatic XL matchups just from this week.
It's like Summoner's Rift appreciates the stakes that are here. They understand what's on the cards of both of these teams. A lot of pride. And you remember when Prosper trash talked XL, he said this team can't finish. It was NG's words that they can't finish a game. If it happens once, you can just call it a one-off. But if it happens twice, then it's a massive problem, and you have to stop the recurring issue. 5k gold up still, but XL looking shaky.
They're looking to try and see if they can find something onto Taxa, but he just flags and drags to safety. Hyunan's still going to be a massive problem as X-Maddie over the wall looking to find some poke to defend his teammates. So will be the red buff stolen away. Hyunan able to pick that one up. Ronaldo's been sent into that bot lane to catch up with the wave that Sendo was pushing into him. Remember, he has teleports, so he's going to be able to join a fight as long as they've got the wards to work with.
NG's out of position here.
Yeah, really looking at it. He catches NG. Okay.
No reason to be there. You're pushing away for very little reason. Ends up going down for free, and now I feel like XL, they should just look towards this Baron.
Yeah, jungler down for 30 seconds. Prosper trying to defend control wards, but the wards are just going to get cleared out everywhere. Sendo may not even be needed to contest this.
Yeah, this is gone. There's no way they contest it. They're going back to their base to defend, and NG, they did so much to come back in this game, and he throws it away. This is the person who said XL can't end, and he's given them a free opportunity to do this. Baron buff is over to them, and now the tower-taking potential of XL is really going to show what it can do. Fnatic, they need another miracle engage to cut them down before they start knocking on the base.
Fnatic going to have to find that miracle play again. The flashes will be coming up fairly soon for NG. Magic Felix, a godlike shuffle, an overextension by Exile could be that key opening for Fnatic if they want to pull this back. But XL, they need to prove that they can close games. They want to hold the power. They haven't successfully defended yet, and this is their chance to do so after taking out Fnatic. Because remember, Fnatic haven't even been able to successfully defend either because they lost the rematch at the beginning of this week.
True, and because of the first week, Fnatic didn't get points for being on top on the first week. They are still behind in points compared to XL. They need to stop climbing if they want that first seed going in the playoffs. And stop pumping some damage to clear out these waves. The extra tower from Azir definitely helps. Remember, no inhibitor towers in the mid or top lane, but the wave clear is pretty insane coming out. Magic Felix has a Rabadons behind him. And yes, there's some huge items on XL and Hyunan, but if you manage to get a massive combo, there's no magic resist on those carries that will make them survive. Sendo has the Wit's End and the Nash's Tooth. Sorry, not Nash's Tooth. Wit's End and the Hex Drinker. There's MR and Taxa, but not on the carries. And you could be looking.
Fnatic are on that flank. They're just trying to scare him off for the moment. Sendo pushing away in the mid lane, and Fnatic trying to defend 5v4 in the top side, but this inhibitor taking a lot of damage. Sendo gnaws out on the bottom side of the screen, but doesn't look like he can find himself an opening. Magic Felix gets poked out, and this will just be the inhib cracking here inside Fnatic's base. The Sand Tower will also fall as True Shot Barrage does do a fair amount of damage to Hyunan. Prospect puts up the Unbreakable. NG lands a kick, but the Redemption will heal up all of XL. Fnatic lose 2 inhibitors, no way to defend.
One lost fight here for Fnatic is the game. They have to find the right engage, and that's why it's so difficult for them. They were looking for it there, it didn't arise, and XL, playing reserve, they managed to take out those 2 inhibitors, and now it's the easier task. They just need to go bot and get the final inhibitor, and the game is really in their hands. The Baron buff's still up for a minute. Fnatic are looking to defend, but those super minions are going to start to be a problem, especially when Sendo is escorting them in.
It's going to be do or die for Fnatic. Look at them setting up over that wall. They want to find their opening. They want to find their kill. There's so hard, and there's a big wave to cut through as well. We talked about how they have a lot of wave clear, but it is still a large wave to kill, and NG comes in. That's going to be the Insect. Exile's down. Prospect throws out the Glacial Fissure just to slow them down, but the waves need to be cleared, and XL still have Baron on 4 more members, and they're looking to siege. They're looking to take this turret. That will be the end of that as the true shot will connect onto one, and Major Felix steps up to try and clear out the wave. Baron, 30 seconds left, so 1 more wave for them to work with here. Prospect taking a fair amount of poke from Xanan. xMatty trying to clear out the wave, and can they defend? Can they hold? Major Felix steps up. Xanan's low HP, but Sendo on that flank about to gnar out is a threat to Fnatic. The waves are still pushing in. They might just try and see if they can find something onto Sendo, but he's able to get out.
And the Baron is going to expire pretty soon. They had to back off after that first kill because Sendo was pressuring the Nexus towers. They managed to hold off the defense, but still, 2 inhibitors down. Not a great position to be in. XL, I think they have to give up on the push. They're still looking, but these waves won't last long.
Well, 2 members of Fnatic had to go topside to clear that out, but that's going to be them jumping onto Major Felix. He's low. The dunk, the shuffle, under tower. Major Felix is still alive. He's got shields to work with for days, and he gets the kill. The turret goes down, but Fnatic's mid holds his life for the moment.
Yeah, and they will be able to hold the last inhibitor up. It's crucial in this situation, and with Taxa down, they could look towards that Mountain Dragon, but it looks like Exile is there. He might just want to solo with Sendo. Playing with fire here, but he feels oh so confident.
Got the Wits End, got the Hex Drink and the Cleaver. Level 17 on this Gnar. This is a man who is incredibly fed, incredibly hard to cut through. As we start to take stock of what items have been hit, the Triforce, the Bloodthirster, Essence Reaver, the Rapid Fire Cannon for Xanan. Exile has double Energizer with an Infinity Edge, building towards his own Bloodthirster, while xMatty just sitting on the 4 items as he just bought a Death's Dance on that base.
Yeah, interesting to see the Death Stance to finish out that 40% CDR. A lot of lifesteal, a lot of AD behind that build. So looking for Major Felix to finish out his next item. And a Void Staff, I believe, just picked up by Ronaldo so he can cut through that Gnar. So much MR on Sendo. More Mortius with Send and that Spectre's Cowl. Very difficult for Ronaldo to deal with him. Mountain Dragon was picked up by XL. They're looking to corral these minion waves back in. Baron will be on the card soon. And a second could be the end of Fnatic.
I was thinking, like, why wouldn't you go quick QSS if you're Ezreal on this? But I guess in this situation, when you're playing into...
It's not much to QSS.
Gnar, it's only really the Gnar role. Like, maybe the tether from Kasing, but...
If the Gnar's on top of you, there's already a problem.
Exactly.
If Kasing's tethering you, either he's trolling from where he's positioned, or your whole team's dead.
Yeah. Sendo does have that flash, does have the Gnar just about to time out, so he won't go for that quite yet. Fnatic doing a good job of holding back these inhibitor waves, and actually... XL are struggling to close here a little bit.
Yeah, and the thing is, because they've burnt down these inhibitors, all these super minions are pushing in, giving more XP and gold to Fnatic. It's not a great position to be in, but if you hold out...
Oh, Sendo getting jumped on.
He's so low,
he's low. The blade's been used, and he is going to have to flash away. Key flash used there.
Yeah, Engage comes in.
Taxa jumps in onto Ronaldo. Ronaldo able to make his way out with a flash himself. NG takes a big crit from Exile, and Fnatic actually looking for some kind of a flank. Taxa needs to be careful, he's getting slowed. The dunk of Major Felix finds himself the kill. Cataclysm just buys a little bit of time.
Yeah, and it's just members of XL falling in front of Fnatic. Sendo manages to survive, but Taxa just lost in Fnatic base and more gold. Every super minion wave you see, that's more gold, more XP going over to the side of Fnatic. Sendo is level 18 because he's been pushing 2 waves, but Exile and Xanan, they're only 16, and Major Felix is overtaken.
Death Brush, Death Brush. Good kick by NG. He jumps in, goes golden, but he's instantly minced through. Redemption comes down. A great kick out of NG is going to go there. That's the end of NG. Prospect jumping onto Kasing, gets himself the Glacial Fissure. The knock-up is coming forward. That's going to be Major Felix sliding and gliding for a double kill. Gifted over to xMatty. Fnatic find themselves some kills, but Sendo's in the base. He's going for the inhibitor. He's going for the backdoor right now. Inhibitor mid lane is going to spawn up. xMatty makes his way down. Xanan in that top lane. Fnatic are onto the Baron. They've been able to pick it up, and Sendo unable to get this inhibitor here. Top lane inhibitor also holds its life, and it looks like the rest of the team now flanking onto Xanan. Ronaldo's coming in. He's got the slows, he's got the damage, and the shutdown is given over to Major Felix. Fnatic hold their base, get Baron once again, and XL are left thinking what went wrong. They had a 10,000 gold lead at 18 minutes, but Fnatic have not given up.
They are still fighting. They've equalized the kills. Only 3k gold now, and they managed to keep all 3 inhibitors while getting the Baron. Things are not looking good for XL right now.
And it has to go back to Exile. This man was so far ahead, but he was playing with too much confidence, too much kind of self-inflated worth of what he was able to do on this Tristana, and that was what gave Fnatic their initial pullback in the first 2 fights.
Yeah, absolutely, and he oversteps, he's overconfident, and XL, NG said it, Prospect quoted it on stream, they don't know how to end games. If the first game wasn't proof, I think this is because things are not looking good. It's not over yet though, they're still up in gold. But you've got to be concerned right now. Fnatic have the Baron, and finally, it's their opportunity to push. No towers down in the top of bot lane, but they're looking mid.
On that flank as well, he has himself the flash and the kick, but still got to be careful about XL. They still do a lot of damage. That's the key thing to note. It's not like last week. It's not like XL don't have damage late game. They have a lot of damage late game. And next Manny is going to be on the receiving end of that. But he is able to make it out. That Death Stance actually does provide a lot. Magic Felix jumps in. Exile's low. Redemption comes down. A 3-man Cataclysm. Tax is low. And he's taken out. Fnatic find one already. Now they're chasing in. And Prospect flashes forward to the Winters by Magic Felix chasing for more. The Red Wolf's coming in. Ronaldo delivers himself into the team. Gets himself a snare onto Sendo. That's giving the Hex Stringer pop to Magic Felix finds the kill. Sendo's down. Fnatic find 3. Hjarnan has to somehow find the damage to save his base. Fnatic are going in for more. Hjarnan's down. Magic Felix is popping off. Fnatic have somehow come back from the brink of despair to defend, to take the tower. That's right, the play was garbage. Fnatic take the win, and XL lose their spot at the top of the tower.
Once again, a 10k goal difference, but even earlier this time, and Fnatic, they bring it back. If you told me, I wouldn't believe it.
I was looking at Twitch chat and everyone was like, FF15, this is done. I was firmly believing that was done. Fnatic, what the hell was that? What a turnaround and what a comeback.
Unshakable mental from Fnatic and XL. Their early game is stellar. After that, I don't even know. I mean, how can you throw a game that hard? I haven't seen solo queue throws that hard. It's concerning.
If you're XL, that has got to be...
I mean, again,
that's a tilter.
Again?
Oh man, that is so rough. Now, that means that we now successfully don't have another defend on the tower. Fnatic get it back this week. XL have to go back to the drawing board and go back to the draw show and make it through the round of 8.
Yeah, and it's so rough. That early game is just so stellar. The fact they find such a massive advantage. They have a lot of variety in the draft. The Tristana pick was great. They found a lot of opportunities to get gold. And then they just don't know how to end the game. They give over a free Baron. And then Exile's positioning was just questionable, doesn't do justice to his positioning. It was just off. It was bad. It was poor. And no one else other than Magi Felix would be the one to punish him for that. He is the MVP for it.
He is definitely the MVP for that game. The mid laner for Fnatic, or sometimes the top laner, but today, mainly, he was the mid laner. This Azir play was just insanely good to watch. He was the catalyst, but turned that game for Fnatic Rising.
That shuffle was insane.
And it wasn't like it was just the one. He was doing a lot of good shuffles in that game.
He got one in the end on Exile, and although Exile managed to buffer his jump to get out, he was so low in HP, it was just doomed from there. I mean, I think the whole team came together to be untiltable in that situation, where once again, you go down 10k gold, but it must have been, we did it once before, we can do it again.
And what a win, by the way, for Fnatic's 15th birthday, to get the tower back, and to get such an incredible win. That's got to feel it's so good for the teams,
and now
for
they
the
can
players.
Celebrate.
And yeah, now they've actually got a party. So unfortunately, we won't have an interview because I really want to know what's going on about that. But unfortunately, we won't have an interview purely because they're off to go have some cake and maybe some booze. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
I want to know what was going on in that game in their heads, because you've got to feel so bloody good right now.
I mean, I feel like the first game was the first time they did it, so it's harder. But they definitely, we can look at the compositions, go, they outscale hard. But this second game, there was some really strong elements to XL's composition. The Corki Tristana are late game monsters, and yet they still didn't manage to find it. It's once again, I want to see the goal graph from that game, because it must have just been like, whoa. They finally clinched it back at the end to get the gold lead, but for such a long time.
Maybe we'll get the Mariana trench graph
We'll get it correct this time.
We'll get it correct this time.
Yeah.
But it's the other way. Actually, it's the same way around.
It's a cross section, but yeah, that's what we want to see.
That was incredible. Let's have a little look at our MVP graphic. We've already announced it, but it is Magic Felix in the mid. I just want to see exactly, like, everything, all the stats, all the numbers. So
how many Shurimas he shuffled?
He shuffled a lot of Shurimas this game with an 82% kill participation, 727. Dude, this guy,
he's performing so well.
like, out of this world. Like, that was, considering how hard, let's be honest, he kind of entered early. He gave up a really easy first blood. And
you got to say, in fairness, it's something maybe he was caught off guard by. They're starting to see it makes a lot of sense with what you can do in the early levels. He jumped on top of him, managed to burn through him, but yeah, he got caught out early, but he made up for it in spades. His team fighting later on was monstrous, and it's a fact that he just pulled so much weight. You got to give credit to the rest of the team as well. Xmadi was constantly finding these pokey bits of damage. Even though he went the AD build, he was still playing it the way he likes to play. And that's why he loves the AP build, because when you find those bursty opportunities, you absolutely chunk someone. And a lot of the time it led to Magifelix being able to follow up and just sweep through the team.
yeah, a lot of damage going down from Xmadi and Magifelix to save that game. But let's have a little look at the bracket and see how everything panned out by the end of today. Fnatic Rising now standing at the top of the tower once again as our tower champions. We'll be starting anew into week 5 for our next round of the UKLC. I can't believe next week we're beyond the halfway point.
Yeah.
What, like, this has gone so quick.
No, I've just remembered.
What?
I'm last now. I'm dead last.
You are dead last. I think
dead
I'm
last on the
now
predictions.
1 point behind our guest. Let's have a little look at the predictions because I do want to see where we stand.
Oh, look at my week.
boy.
I'm so bad. I'm so awful.
You're so bad at this.
Oh, God.
You're our resident smart guy. And
Clearly,
you got 9
Clearly, I've been
points.
faking it this whole time.
That is... See, this is genuine genius here.
Yep,
I
absolutely.
was only 50% as well, to be fair.
It was a hard week. It was a hard week. There were a lot of upsets.
Come over here, Ollie. How you doing? How do you feel after this? Come there. Stand there. There you go.
I won.
You won. You did. Is your mic even on? Have we turned your mic on? I can't hear you. Maybe you're a quiet guy.
Sorry.
No, his mic isn't on, is it?
No, I can't hear him in my ear.
All right, Mike, talk. That's Ollie.
I'm on now.
He's on.
There we
He's
go.
on. There
There
he
we
is.
go.
How do you feel, dude, after that?
I feel fantastic, especially after what Saga said last week.
Yeah, Saga did call you out pretty hard. And I
Keeping
mean,
the lead.
Prosper also called out XL, and looks like he's right. They can't win. Even
Oh,
at 18 minutes of a 10k gold
You know,
lead.
I bet XL were preparing the tweets for when they
Oh,
won.
man.
They were
no.
probably preparing
They
them.
were like, there's so many
And-
tweets ready, and it's
and then
just
they
gone
snuck
so
the Baron.
wrong.
They're like, oh, it's just one Baron. I can't wait to see what Prosper tweets after this.
He's gone for a drink. Right. I think you know where we are. We're at the draw show. Ollie, are you familiar with how this works?
You open them,
You're
And
you're
then-
semi-correct.
Yeah.
Well done.
and then you make sure that you don't have the same matchups
I'm
as
gonna be
this
honest,
week,
I
right?
like
Yep.
the sunglasses, but you got to take them off. For competitive integrity, we have to be aware that you're not trying to look through the balls.
Okay.
yeah, send me
Alright,
your
smart,
glasses though in
smart.
that case.
Okay.
Yeah, take your glasses off.
I just no, but it's because you can see my eyes. You can see I'm looking up. Because if he has sunglasses on, you can't see his eyes. It's like
I
people
don't know.
people don't let you wear sunglasses in poker and stuff.
Ollie, mate, you're a nice guy, but you
Okay.
smell, so I'm just gonna put this here.
That's fine. That's okay.
There we go. It's not a bad smell. It's just
A smell.
whatever perfume shop you went to before we started the show, mate. You would use a little bit too much.
I didn't go to one.
Well, that's a good natural
Okay,
odor.
yeah, fine. I'll take it.
So we'll be starting off with blue sides. So blue side for game 1, blue side for game 2, blue side for game 3, blue side for game 4, and then red side vice versa. If we draw the same matchup, it will be jumping over to the next game, and then we'll go back. So Ollie, as our guest, you may open the first ball.
Okay.
No,
No, you got to shuffle
Oh.
them.
Man, that was so weak.
Is that better?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
go.
it's
It's fine.
painful, dude. All right, well. They can't win with a 10k gold lead at 18 minutes, but it's going to be XL coming up as our blue side for game 1 of next week. Now, we'll be seeing who's going in game 2. There we go. Oops. What kind of weird things do you have on toast? So I was saying I had Marmite and scrambled eggs.
I don't.
It is feeling.
What's wrong with you people? Phelan. So Phelan will be game 2 blue side. I'm actually disappointed in you.
I was trying to think of something.
These are really bent.
But-
I think we need new ones, guys. I'm not gonna lie. All right, Ollie,
Try again.
this is the shuffle of shame here, my dude.
But you know what? It's that one.
That's
It's,
the one where just
destined. It's
you
destined.
yeeted out of the bowl. Cool. So Diabolus will be on red side. Sorry, blue side for game 3. There we go.
There you go.
I'll put that over here. This is my one thing, all right? Saga tried to take this from me last week as well. I'm not okay with it. You can just,
You know what's the greatest prize for being at the top of the tower? The fact that the team on the top doesn't have to watch us blunder our way through this.
Fnatic have probably already gone downstairs to the rest of the party. So
And next is Demise.
that'll be blue side for game 4. Now, XL weren't in the run last week, so whoever you pull here, you can't mess it up unless somehow you put Fnatic in there, but I know you didn't.
I didn't put anything in here. Has anyone made like a Pokemon joke at all in regards to these? They look a bit like Pokeballs.
I mean, you could have made a Pokemon joke instead of
Well, I
asking if
feel
anyone
like
made
someone
it.
must have done it by
No.
now, right?
Barrage. So this is going to be red side game 1, versus XL Barrage. Still the only team with 0 points in the league.
That does not
That's
seem-
a rough draw.
That
That's a
doesn't
rough
look
draw
like-
for week 5.
That doesn't look like the week 5 where you're going to get the point
Week
back.
6, boys.
Week
That's,
6.
it's the long con.
I mean, they have to have a bloody good few weeks if they want to pull it out. All right, let's have a little look at who's going to be on red side for game 2. It's
And
going
it
to be
is
Phelan versus XL.
Enclave.
Enclave, sorry. Yep, Enclave played versus Dabbler, so we can't have that, so that's fine. Yeah, you got it
It
right
is
the
the-
first time round, and then you still got it wrong.
These look so weird. It's misleading.
All right, let's have a little look.
No, just this one.
You need to shuffle it.
Why? Whee! I shuffled it.
What an amateur, man. What an amateur.
Well, he won't be coming
I
back.
laugh if you
Oh.
messed it up, but now you pull like a different team. Right, so it's going to be Envision versus Diabolus,
Yep.
which is possible and fine. So that one doesn't have any blue tack.
I'll hold it.
No, I have blue tack somewhere.
Well, till you find it.
Well, all right.
Oh, hit.
You go there.
Right, I'm
I'll
a
find the
genius.
blue
Just
tack.
wait. Just
Oh.
wait. Just wait.
Oh.
Smart guy.
But I thought you got none of your predictions correct. How are you a genius?
I was.
Oh, I know where it is. It's miles off. I'm not going to make it while I'm all cabled up. There we go. All right. Orcs, see, you still shuffle. You never know.
Even with one left.
Yeah, you always shuffle, man. I wonder who it's going to be.
It's gonna be Eminem.
Eminem. All right, so this means that our sides of the brackets are also fairly, well, decided. So XL, Barrage, Phelan, Enclave will be the one side, and then our second side is going to be Diabolus, Envision, Demise, and Eminem. Diabolus have been chasing Eminem for a little while, so this is actually quite exciting because if they can get through Envision, who I think it's fair to say are looking better than they have been previously looking, and another good week for Envision is really key for them to kind of avoid that relegation spot. But if Diabolus do beat out Envision and Demise lose to Eminem, it might be the chance for Diabolus to take out Eminem.
Yes.
Good
Indeed.
stuff. Great.
I just feel
great
so bad
additions.
for Mirage. It's like, I mean, I know the org really wants the team to succeed. They've gone on the drawing board because obviously it was a rough week losing to Envision, and now they're like, come on, let's see what we get. We can win this in week 5, and it's like, we gotta excel.
Well, if this is nice and confusing for you, don't worry. We have a visual graphic bracket coming up, so you can have a little look at that. There you go. So we're starting off next week with XL versus Barrage. Then game 2 will be Phelan versus Enclave, Diabolus versus Envision, Demise versus Eminem. And that is our week 5, day 1. I completely forgot what week we're on. Sorry, man. We'll just...
You know, I've actually worked out a strategy for.
How
Okay,
is it still not broken?
I didn't mean to break that.
I've worked out a strategy for Barrage. All they need to do is give XL a 10k gold lead, and the game is
They
theirs.
can't end.
Now, let's have a little look at the scoreboard, see how everyone's at for the moment. As XL, 1 point ahead of Fnatic, but this is looking dangerous right now. Then we've got Eminem on 5 points. Wow.
That is such a big gap.
That is a big gap. Is that possible to catch up with them now?
Oh yeah, you can get so many points if you win the Tower Challenge,
You have to win the Tower Challenge.
and if XL and Fnatic go out round 1.
Yes,
Every
which
time.
hasn't happened so
Next,
far.
yeah.
Yeah, like it's hard. It's hard for anyone to get into that top 2, but
you get
for
so
the
many
3
points
and
for
the
being a
4,
Tower champion.
yeah, for the 3 and 4, it's actually it's going to be hard to like. Actually, there's still going to be a battle between 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I think, and that's going to be the key thing to watch over the next few weeks because I feel like 1st and 2nd are just going to be going back and forth for a little while, and Fnatic are doing a good job to catch up. But man, this is very different from last season. We had a lot more kind of variation on it. It was a constant race between the teams, but Fnatic and XL just rising to be the 2 top teams in the UK. Now, we aren't done here because it's actually somebody's birthday tomorrow.
It's your happy
No.
birthday!
Thank you, but
all
no.
right. So this is why I was asking about fire extinguishers. This is
That
musical.
makes sense now,
Now
right?
it makes
okay.
sense. This cake actually does smell really nice. Thank you, Will. This is Will, our observer. You can say hello. Hello. You actually have a mic.
I do.
You're
They were
mic'd up.
Get mic'd up, and I was like,
Come on.
bye.
Come
I'll
in,
get in.
join us here,
Oh,
William.
guys.
All right, you know what? I'm going to die, aren't I?
You should do it at arm's length, I've been told.
Oh, yeah, that is arm's length. Oh, God. Apparently it plays music. Opens up.
Is it worth
See,
moving
my-
your mic close to fire?
That's not
It plays
good.
a happy birthday tune.
I don't want to get too close because it's more my face I don't want to burn than the
Yes.
microphones, to be fair. But it is playing music. Hold on, I'll try and get
I'll
like
hold
a...
this.
Can you hear it? You sure? Because I can go closer.
Don't put it on your
I said
face.
my original plan was I was gonna, you know,
In my
CVBC you, but with a massive burning flower on the top. I
That's
thought
why
that
you're
might be
asking
a bad
about the fire
idea.
extinguisher.
That was why I was asking about the fire
You gotta
extinguisher.
blow it out.
So you do have to blow it out like a wish.
Oh, goodness me.
It's still playing music. What
It
did
is.
you wish for?
How long does the music
Oh,
last?
I
It
can't
just
tell or it
goes.
doesn't come true. I'll just say it's related to World's Finals.
I'm very ready to have this cake. So we are going to finish up here with week 4 of the UKLC. Thank you very much for joining us here. We'll be back next week at the same time, at the same place. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you then.